Blimey. I was off by 3,000, just under. Right. I was going to say, maybe now I've had a cup of coffee and a dinner and a good rest, I should be in better frame of mind for this bloody thing. Oops. Ooh. Right, this bloody level. Damn it. Oh, balls. Missed me. Whee! Oh, damn it. Oh, flipping hell. I hate this one. Not quite as much as the next one, but I flipping hate it. Ah! Given I'm dyspraxic, I'm pretty impressed at how well I'm getting on with this now. And believe it or not, video games is actually a suggestion for how to improve your hand-eye coordination, especially for dyspraxic people. And it is working. For the most part, at least. It just takes a little longer than usual. Oh, balls. Playing this is making me want to get into making video games myself, like with some platform games, remaking old ones like this game Magic Mushrooms that I used to play on the Acorn Alexon, which is basically the poor man's version of the BBC Micro. Found in a car boot sale once upon a time, ages ago. God, I feel old. Wait, let me get. Thank you. Ah, oh, bugger. Maybe that could be a way to. Maybe that could be a way to get me back into coding. I know what Concerned Ape used to make this, and I know a bit of C#, even though I'm really rusty. I've got this Headfirst C# book that I can have a look at, so I can probably get it back into coding that way. And maybe that's where I've been going wrong with web dev all this time. I don't know. Damn it. Oopsie. I've done web dev with C# and ASP in uni, although fairly briefly. First step before getting into C# or web apps is just to get into C# full stop. I think that's what the problem was. I might have to do what Seb did and just completely self-teach. Well, it wouldn't be completely self-teach because I've been taught in uni. It would be a case of rushing up via self-teaching. I'd have to do that with web dev anyway. I'd like to do more responsive web codings. That's where it's at now. It seems like this web app that I showed you, that looks like it's created in Vue or something. I mean, I recognise the framework even. You can do some very clever stuff with it. Hey, yep, wee. Oh, bugger. But I'd need to do a lot of... I mean, I never even learnt Vue in uni, which is pretty annoying, really. Whoopsie. Whee! Well, I mean, I wanted to do game dev for quite a while, but I just haven't had the aptitude, I guess. Well, I know you need a strong maths brain, and I haven't got that. At least not yet. It's something I'd have to work on in an environment that doesn't give me PTSD flashbacks. School was horrible. I just have to completely start again with pretty much everything with it. I mean, I've been given a whistle-stop tour, I guess. Matter of where your heart is, isn't it? I know my head and my heart have been all over the place as long as I can remember. Just little things like this, I suppose, that remind me, I guess, that, and on the clothes side, and being all these nice costumes or whatever that I really like. And I've made costume myself. It's just a case of getting back it, but finding that spark again. Reminding myself why I liked it in the first place, or why I thought about doing it in the first place, and just getting back to that. I mean, I was on my last day of that wellness course I was on Friday, a few days ago, where I just mentioned to them that there's this saying I heard: if you want to be reborn, let yourself die. And I spent the past few years in my death throes, and this year has been a death year for me. Yeah, it was quite funny though. I mean, because we're coming towards the end of the year now, and I know what's waiting for me next year. Namely, I'm going to lose my home at the end of March. So I've spent a good amount of time preoccupied with how I'm going to navigate that. Knowing what the traditional options are, and knowing what I'd rather. And I've been considering for a while about just either living in my car or a tent. And I can't. I mean, I can't drive yet, but the money I'd save through living in a car or tent would allow me to learn to drive. Especially if my inheritance finally comes through in the new year, which apparently we'll at least hear about it then. About 1.5 years too late, but never mind. It won't be much. It won't be a life-changing amount, but it'll be enough to help get back on my feet, if nothing else, I hope. Depends how much the DWP left us with. But the weird thing is, anytime I tell someone, like, the alternative I'm facing because British benefits don't pay you enough to live on. And because it's ridiculous actually, because got this global cost of living crisis, which some countries are handling better than others. Britain is notoriously bad at handling this shit, especially with the previous and now current government, who are basically like Tory light. But things are either looking to cruise along the same as they had been, or getting worse. But crap. It's just like we all seem to be going downhill into another authoritarian cycle. That's a nicer way of putting it. And it's a case of, I mean, this shooting in America, where just for a change it was someone who deserved it, is hopefully the tipping point. Like people have been united in their hatred of the American healthcare system, and like CEOs there are shitting themselves now, rightfully so. Well, I hope things are going to improve in that way soon. Well, it won't be soon, but hopefully this is a catalyst that people need generally. But what that's going to look like in the interim, I mean, it's going to be a case of things get worse before they get better. It's always been the case. Whee. Whee. Oh, give me a break. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. And I'm going into journal mode again, but this is just me already stimming at this point. It does help me focus, believe it or not. Yeah, I don't know how, when, or even if that's going to carry across to Britain at some point. I bloody hope it does. But one thing that has definitely been starting to take off with all this going on is living outside the system, such as car living or full-time tent living or whatever. But a lot of us now, I can't remember if it was this video or another one that was purely from my eyes only, but I mentioned before that how humanity has now come full circle. We're in like late to end stage capitalism, where hopefully this means capitalism is on its way out. But I mean, we got so advanced as a race with all this technology and stuff, but a lot of us are now at the point where I had enough of it all. And I'm certainly one of them now. I just had enough of this way of life, and I'm not, as an ADHD person, I'm not even wired for modern life. Something I've come to realise. I mean, I've had to learn a lot about myself since getting away from my toxic stroke abusive upbringing. Because one of the problems I've had is enmeshment, where at some point both parents have treated me like a therapist, or there's definitely some emotional incest that's been going on there. More enmeshment on my mother's side. It's like she saw me as an extension of herself rather than my own person. But I'm pretty sure the only reason she believed I had depression is because she suffered from it herself. But then it runs in the family, full stop. But there are a lot of beliefs, I mean, a lot of things where I'd grown up thinking I wanted all this stuff. Like, it just turned out that things I thought I wanted, it was stuff that you were expected to want, like a house, maybe kids, good paying job. But when I have such things, like sounds kids, not for one of, well, that's another story. Suffice to say, the only child I have is 6 feet under. But all this stuff I thought I wanted, and when it happens in some way or another, like especially a full-time job and having a comfortable salary and having enough to live on for a change, but being comfortable, and I mean, yeah, in modern society we all need money to live, unfortunately. This is in modern society, you know, the one we're all expected to participate in. And I think we're all conditioned to embrace it, in the point that we have dream careers, we aspire to things like owning a house, getting married or whatever. It's taken me a lot of work, and it's been a very, very long healing journey, partly to firstly realise that what I grew up with wasn't okay in the first place. Second, to figure out where my parents' thoughts ends and where my own begins. Because the problem with enmeshment in particular is that you have no identity of your own. Like, you think you want things and it turns out to be what your parents like or want. Damn it. Any differences I had in taste, like music for instance, got me side-eye from my mother anyway. the longer I've gone without the longer I've gone without any real contact with my folks, like not talking to them or whatever, and especially not being in their vicinity, the easier it's been for me to figure myself out and to heal from the shit I've been through, and to give me a lot to think about where I actually stand in life and what I actually want, who I really am. And I suppose that was possibly a part of what led to burnout in the end. I know work was definitely the catalyst for it all coming down. But there was a reason when the first time I was on extended sick leave because of it. I thought it might have been just everything. I mean, like I've gone through multiple therapists over the decades, and I've slowly been able to talk about more and more of this stuff. And I think this is probably down to different approach I had with the last round of therapy I had when I was on a first extended sick leave. Not just with the trauma therapy that I had, but the decision I made after tons and tons of research about it to use magic mushrooms as a therapy aid. And I was very open with the therapist about it. And she obviously can't officially condone it, but she knows someone who's written papers about it. So thankfully, yes. Damn it. But that made a humongous difference in my healing journey. And I mean, it doesn't always feel like it's necessarily done anything. Like the times when I've just been it feels like I've not felt, damn it, it just felt like a lot of the time like I've not felt up to doing anything other than bed rotting, as they call it. But I'm at a point now where I can accept that. I mean, I even mentioned during the wellness course about talk about problem solving in some way or another, and one of the things I mentioned was listen to your body. Something I'm still learning to do. But I have learned now to tell myself, if I've spent all day just asleep, it's probably because my body's needed the rest. Well, not just the body, but the mind. Because burnout is it's more of a mental thing. But now I've felt sometimes Like, there have been sometimes where I've just been bored out of my mind. But all I can think to do is just, I don't know, crochet for hours or sleep for hours or whatever. But I mean, I've been through hospitals several times for either mishaps or trans surgery. But like, especially like the worst one was my motorbike accident. I broke several limbs, despite being in full protective. Well, say despite being in full protective gear. If I wasn't in full protective gear, I'd be dead. I mean, I face planted the road. But if A, I wasn't wearing a helmet. B, if it wasn't mandatory in the UK, which I'm so glad it is. I mean, I face planted the road with a helmet, which is absolutely. Damn it. If I wasn't wearing a helmet, I wouldn't have a face. And my brains would be splattered across the road. And if I wasn't wearing the gloves, I wouldn't have fingers left. If I wasn't wearing proper motorbike jeans, I wouldn't have knees. If I wasn't wearing proper supportive boots, I probably wouldn't have a foot. Instead, I ended up with a broken ankle, which travelled as a ripple effect up to my leg and broke my knee, or fractured my knee. I ended up with a few broken fingers on my right hand, one or two of which hadn't healed properly and a bit twisted. And I ended up with needing a metal screw in my thumb, in my left thumb. So, for the first few weeks when I was recuperating at a friend's, I couldn't use either of my hands very well. So, yeah. So it's just that sense of, damn it. Yeah, it's that sense of you're out of hospital now. All you can do is recover at home and take it easy on yourself. Like, don't remember your healing. Don't push yourself. But because of that, there's not much you can do activity wise, so you're just bored out of your brains. And that's how I've been feeling at home. Like, not physically unwell or anything, but mentally unwell. But because it's not all that obvious what it is I'm having to recover from, I don't know, it just feels a bit weird. Like, I have to remind myself that that it's as though I've come out of hospital from a bike accident. It's a similar sort of thing. Where I have to remind myself not to push myself. And when it comes to recovering from something like burnout, it's reminding myself that like there were times when I've gone back to look at my pets. There have been times when I've looked back on the web apps I've been working on, and whereas before I could get engrossed in working on them for hours, like I'd hyper focus on it, like ADHD type hyperfocus where I'd forget to eat or even sleep. But now it's like after about 5 or 10 minutes or something like that, I just start to blank out. So I have to remind myself, like, yeah, you've been through a mentally challenging job. You've managed to stick it out for nearly 5 years, which is a track record for me. Damn it. Damn it. It's frustrating because I've gone through damn it. I've gone through I've gone from finding code fun to not being able to concentrate or focus on it for more than about 10 minutes. And it's very true. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I have been losing it, which isn't a great place to be. Damn it. But I mean, despite still mentally recovering, I've obviously still got the desire for it. So I play something like this and wind up like I would like to do something like that, and still thinking about how I could get back into it or what I'd need to do for it. I mean, my heart's still there. Difference is, when I went through uni from a web development degree, I wasn't diagnosed with anything apart. Yeah, I got diagnosed with dyspraxia while I was in uni, but that was it. I didn't get diagnosed with ADHD until about over a year with my last workplace. The only reason I qualified for support at uni was with depression. But it still saved me in some ways because of that. I still qualified for getting extensions with coursework, which is pretty much the only reason I managed to graduate in the first place. Damn it. No. Damn it. I mean, as much as I would like to go back to uni and play catch up, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to handle it if I did. Apart from the fact I'm in enough student debt as it is. Whee! Ah, damn it. I mean, if this channel does take off, it'll be a good side hustle. I'm under no illusions about making loads of money from it. It'll be pocket money at best. if it does get to a point of monetizing it, which it probably won't. Unless with my story run it takes off and I'm pleasantly surprised. But that would be it. I mean, I'm not expecting that to make me rich or anything. What it is doing is keeping my mind a little bit active. Well, sort of. Well, the video editing certainly is. I mean, it's a nice creative exercise. Damn it. And helping with, or even writing, whoops. Well, certainly helping with other mods, including the one for expanded, which you'll see for my story run. That's improved my confidence in the whole. I can still be of use. I can still help people. I can still use my skills to help people. I can still use my technical skills, my coding skills. So I haven't completely lost it. It might just mean a different. I need to take a different approach to it, whatever that looks like. And that's the thing at the moment, is what does that look like that I need to think about. So I'm not. Ah, you get. Never mind. Yes. Okay, I need to concentrate now. Oh, you bugger. Never mind. I mean, this is good. This is a good therapeutic exercise for me as well, just because video journaling is my thing, it turns out. I mean, everyone says how journaling is such a useful tool, like either like a healing tool or coping tool or whatever. But I can never keep it. I mean, I can never keep up with written journals. Don't know if it's just that, I mean, it just takes a lot more effort to interpret my thoughts from like transferring from my brain onto paper in a way that makes sense. But video-wise, damn it, video-wise, especially when I'm doing something else like this, it just seems to work. When I was doing my story note videos, which are the ones that just for my benefit, I was playing a lot of Prairie King, and I was doing a lot of journaling using that. So oh shit. It's weird. It's like if I'm just silently playing, then I just start to drift off and lose focus. The minute I start talking while I'm playing, like it wakes my mind up, which is weird. Maybe it's an ADHD thing. I don't know. It might even be an autism thing. I don't know. There's a lot of overlap between the two, as well as a lot of differences. I'm probably about halfway through the waiting list for an autism assessment by now. Just waiting times in this country is ridiculous. I know why. Because the government have been silently or not so silently ripping away the NHS resources. Because, I mean, we're not stupid. We can see what they're doing. They're trying to put it in a position where we're like, well, the NHS is run so bad, just make it all private and have done with it. Which is a dangerous slope to slide on, because that's how you end up with sleepwalking into an America type health system, and the Americans themselves can't stand it. I know for a fact that even just researching for a story I was writing many years ago, I was writing an American story. As a British person, I didn't know how things worked. So, and it was posted on a forum. It was a Sim story, and it was a fanfic about the one of the crewmate families. Oops. And it was posted to a Sims forum. So I had an audience. Well, yeah, I had a readership. They were regularly leaving comments, and it was getting quite popular actually. People have loved my writing, which is nice. But I was told by one or two of the people there that one of the characters ended up in a hospital, and one of the readers was like, "Don't forget, someone's going to have to pay for this." So I was like, "What? Okay." Did my research. I was absolutely horrified at the state of the healthcare, like people regularly bankrupting themselves to pay for medical debt. So I was like, what the bloody hell? Yeah, I mean, having now had private and NHS type healthcare, I can safely say that yes, the waiting list might be shorter, but that's not much help when A, you can't afford it, B, in the case of ADHD treatment at least, GPs aren't there used to be this thing called shared care where your GP would take over routine prescribing of treatment after being diagnosed and titrated privately. I had that when I was first treated for ADHD. Damn it. And it was working fine, no problem. Ah! Damn it. So when I... Damn. So my brain's been very fickle with ADHD treatment, that's a problem. So, probably because I was already experiencing burnout at the time, that the treatment stopped being so effective. So I went through a second round of titration. And as before, went to the GP with the form requesting shared care, and then got a phone call telling me that it had been denied. And they gave me this bullshit excuse saying that they didn't want to be responsible for prescribing controlled drugs. And finish with as I'm sure you can imagine. And I was like, actually no, I can't, because when I was first treated, because when I first went through titration, I was on shared care, no problem. So what's changed? And the GP was just like, good question. But even asking for a bridging prescription while it was sorted out or something, because I can't afford this shit, it's expensive. And he was like, no, sorry, you're gonna have to either continue paying for private treatment or wait for the NHS, and I can refer you to the NHS private pathway, which means having to go through the whole diagnostic process all over again. And I was like, can you at least expedite the process? He was like, yeah, I can do that. Still haven't heard anything from him, of course. But it's just frustrating as hell. The only difference I can see, that all of us can see in fact, is that in that period in between, there was this notorious BBC Panorama episode. It's like a expose series, and they got this journalist to play as someone who was seeking diagnosis for ADHD, and went talking to all these private and then an NHS psychiatrist. The problem is, this journalist used different answers for the NHS person than they did for the private guys. Also, whole being admitted in the first place to see the NHS person so quickly is just ridiculously unrealistic. It's like the whole thing was a setup. And it doesn't help that there was practically no people with experience of ADHD actually talking on the program. It's like ridiculously biased. But nonetheless, GPs across the country are scared shitless of it now. One GP admitted to one Redditor that was literally why they were doing it, is because of the Panorama episode. But one person at least has had the decency to be honest about what's about why we can't get shared care anymore. The rest of them are just bullshit excuses, like the one I had. And worrying thing is this seems to be this seems to be a trend that's continuing with other maybe controversial, well, divisive treatments like trans treatment. I've had there's been people saying they can't get shed care or can't be prescribed hormone treatment now, which concerns me because I've personally run out of HRT pills, and it's showing as unavailable on my list, on my GP's web app thing. I'm hoping I can just ask them for a refill and it'll be no problem. That's what has been happening, at least. Although interestingly enough, they don't do routine blood tests to check how my hormone levels are going or anything. It's just a regular, like, the only reason I've been getting blood tests is because of the ADHD treatment I was on, not for the HRT I'm taking, which I hear is a thing now as well. But I'm just just to clarify, I was actually born female. I went initially through a female to male transition about a decade ago now, I think, or just over. Excuse me. And then I realised that, damn it, that was a mistake. And because non-binary wasn't a thing over 10 years ago, not to my knowledge anyway, so I was thinking that that was what I needed, and to a certain degree it was. I mean, I did need testosterone at some point, to an extent where it was like my face hadn't finished developing, which is, it's pretty pretty weird. But anyway, certain things that I had, I don't regret at all. But I noticed that it was like, it was nerfing my emotional state a little. And by the time I started to heal properly, I was like, I want to be more emotional, not less. I'm a naturally emotional person. So I did decide then to come off tea and go back on estrogen, because by then I'd had a hysterectomy. So I can't produce my own estrogen anymore. So I need, I need estrogen pills to avoid the whole developing osteoporosis. And I went through a second transition when I moved to Wales, fairly recently, which was a much better experience, where they actually helped me, they actually helped me figure out what kind of non-binary identity I actually fit me. I thought it might have been gender fluid, but turns out agender fits me a lot better. I had to find on this like non-binary wiki, like kind of permission, if you like, where it was saying it's a very natural thing for non-binary people to detransition to a point after they've transitioned enough for what they want. Damn it. Because there's so much stigma around detransitioners because transphobic media love them. They jump on them any chance they get and use that to argue against gender transition. And it's always the more extreme detransitioners who are like, it didn't work for me. That must mean that damn it. That must mean that all trans people were deluded. It's not going to work for any of them, which of course is complete bullshit. But it's a dangerous viewpoint that the media just love to jump on. So I was very hesitant to admit to myself that I wanted to detransition to a point. But that's where I am now, basically. It's just like, I suppose you could call it female to box. Female to male to non-binary, I guess, is a journey I've taken. And still taking to a point, I guess. Anyway, I've gone completely off track again. The trouble is, it's a lot harder to explain. It's a lot harder to explain non-binary to people. I mean, it was hard enough to explain my first transition to my folks. And I'm just sitting here now imagining how it's going to be if I try explaining to them that, yes, I'm going through another kind of transition. And I have a history of... Ah, damn it. I do have a history of keep changing my mind on stuff. Like, at first it was for sexuality. I couldn't figure out where the hell I stood. I'm still, well, maybe a little better now understanding where I'm at. I mean, like, I'd heard of, I kept swinging from bi to lesbian because I couldn't figure out how I felt about men at the time. And on a trans forum, it said, one of the people said once, if you're in the wrong gender role, specifically about sex this was, but if you're in the wrong gender role, then of course it's not going to feel right. So that was kind of a light bulb moment. And it has been found a lot that people's sexuality tends to change, for want of a better word, when they're going through transition. I think it's more a case of once you feel more comfortable in yourself, you can have an easier time figuring out what your sexuality is. Most of the time anyway. I think the reason I've had such a hard time of it is because it's taken me so long to come to a place of knowing what I actually am and where I feel more comfortable. I used to think I used to swing between lesbian and bi, and then it was settling on bi for a long time, and then I heard that pansexual was a thing, which basically translated as hearts not parts, which seems to be pretty accurate. But I can't find anyone sexually attractive until I've bonded with them on some level, which it turns out is demisexual. But there's also when I am attracted to someone that, well, even if not, I mean, I find it hard to imagine people as men and women. I just see people. And now recently, I'm coming to a point again where I'm like, I think I mentioned it earlier on, but I've just come to a point again recently where I was like, hang on, do I like women at all, or is there the unknown factor because I've not had much experience with them, or is it again another case of not being with not being with compatible people? I don't know, but I had a feeling that actually I seem to swing more towards men. And now I've just heard of the term polysexual, which is exactly what it is, like being attracted to different sexes but having a preference. The whole thing's just been confusing as hell. Apples. I'm gonna do this. So, oops. I might do a separate clip of this just called Junimo Kart journaling or something. That's pretty much what this has been. Oops. Maybe I could try to recreate something like this as an exercise, practice, something like that. I don't know. Whee! By me. That's it. No, 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 no. Oof. Just trying to throw the bubbles off course. Oh, damn it. Oh, you shit. That's the reason video journaling helps so much, for me at least. It's just, oops, it's just an instant brain dump. Oops. Oh, balls. Ah, both. Junior mode cart journaling and Prairie King journaling. There's plenty of journaling content on my other videos. That's if anyone would even be interested. Suppose I can post them as unlisted, and then if anyone's interested, I'll just make it public. I mean, people liked my trans videos well enough. Had a few comments on them. That account's dead now, I think. Good riddance, if I'm honest. I mean, I was a very different person, and I was way too impressionable for a long time, and I think I'd heard too many horror stories, and I approached my transition with the expectation that that was going to happen with me as well. So I was that as well as still being in contact with the toxic woman who gave birth to me. Just I was just on the defensive all the time, which I know it's a trauma response. It's definitely a PTSD thing. Thankfully, I'm a lot better with that now. It is exhausting when you feel you have to be on the defensive all the time. There's just no room to be yourself at all, even if I wasn't neurodivergent. But because I was defensive all the time and I was in constant trauma mode or whatever it was, I think there was this... Crap. Oh, shit bag. It's like, I've just gone through my life wearing different kinds of masks. And by the time of my trans videos, that was just another one. Another mask I was wearing. And that's how it comes across, as far as I remember. It certainly felt a lot more uncomfortable seeing and hearing myself on there the first time with those videos. Whereas now I can hear myself when I'm proofing these videos, and damn it. And there's no embarrassment at all now. It just sounds a lot more authentic than it used to be, if that makes sense. Which is what I've wanted all along, to be honest. It's just that I had no idea before who my authentic self even was. I suppose this is where YouTube in itself is a kind of therapy, because I just get to be me, take it or leave it sort of thing. I mean, I get to be myself a lot more now anyway, and especially on that wellness class I could just go completely mask off. I guess I'm getting too old now for masking and bullshit. It's just too exhausting. Hey! Ah, oh, balls. That's it. Oh shit, that was a good start. There's things like live roleplay that I used to do. I mean, damn it. I mean, I'm not financially, if not mentally, in a position to do that anymore. At least at the moment. But that's been very helpful in exploring, like, deep down within, just being the person that I want to be, i.e. just a nice person who helps people and is friendly and everything. But I mean, that's helped me figure out what's really underneath, and even playing the Stardew Valley and all the issues that it approaches, damn it, well, it's just got me thinking about my own experiences, especially discussing them on the sub. Damn it. It's just all been very helpful. So just various sorts of things. It's just, I mean, I'm still very quiet when I'm around people I don't know very well. But once I feel comfortable enough with people, it's just a lot easier to come out of myself than it used to be. I suppose you could say I'm getting towards the stage now where I can consider this upcoming year a rebirth stage. I'm starting to feel a bit better in that regard already. Thanks to various things, I guess. have a feeling that getting out of this house is going to be what really kicked it off. It's just the last remnants of a life that I've only recently realised I'm not wired to, I'm not equipped to handle. The whole trying to keep it clean and everything. Damn it. Damn it. I guess that's where the Stardew Valley is has come into it, because you got people like Linus who are just living completely outside society and very, very happy with it. Not to mention the whole thing with the farmer getting so sick of modern life and just finds they've been left this farm and they're like, sod this, I'm off. Which is what kept me so engrossed in it in the first place. It's just, that's what I wanted to, that's where I wanted to be myself. It's just there'll be some way to escape this mess. I know the usual, I know the saying, like, wherever you go, there you are. How much does that really apply? I mean, is that if, I mean, I have, oh damn it. I have noticed, at least in my constant moving, whether it be like from Brighton to Leeds to now Swansea and now here, that's like things just tended to follow me. But it was still going, it was still taking, well, it's still taking a degree of personal belongings, I guess, but it was still, it's like a frying pan to fire scenario, really. It's still living alone in a house or flat or whatever. Oh, that was appalling. Oh my god. Yep. Damn you. Wait. Damn it. What I'm saying is, this time it would be a case of, I know well and good that with how social housing works and the local council's short-term solution to homelessness while waiting for the 5 or so years for a house to turn up, is to stick you in a cheap hotel room. And if you're really unlucky, that's where you end up staying. That's how you end up living for the rest of your life. It's just going from hotel to hotel. And I'm just, even if it was just a short-term thing while waiting for a house, I'm just like, no thank you. I mean, wherever they put me, it's going to be in a town somewhere, because that's where hotels are. And I've ascertained now that I can't live in a town. I just can't handle, like, even a town as opposed to a city. It's still the busyness, the mentality that I just can't deal with. And I'm at that stage in my life now, I guess, where I'm like figuring myself out that maybe even living in a house is too much for me to handle. Simply because I'm having such a hard time keeping it clean and keeping on top of admin stuff. I just want out of the whole lot. Like, that went well. I mean, I've been considering the whole car life or whatever for a while, and just been more passively like considering, like doing the research on how it's all going to work, things like electrics and access to bathrooms and stuff like that, and like just trying to weigh up how that would work with my lifestyle. And damn it, and I'm now having to answer the question, what is my lifestyle? I mean, it's been a whole lot of what I think I need to be, how I think I need to live, or trying to find what I enjoy doing. Oh, balls. I mean, there's been one solution about renting office space, which I'm very heavily leaning towards now, because laptop and things like getting back into coding, for instance, and I also need electrics to like charge my power banks, whatever they are, and I have things like a soup maker that I want to use, and that soup maker actually makes oat soy milk, so double win. But in order to get that working without something like an office or whatever, I need to have a portable power station of at least 1,000 watts. Very expensive. Yep. Thank you. Yep. E. Oh, you bugger. Damn you. I also have a sewing machine. I want to get back into I want to improve my sewing skills, because the other possibility I have for making my own money is offering an alteration service, which are apparently in short supply around my area, and they're things apparently that people do want or need, and I'd like to be able to do that for myself anyway, and just want to get into the whole thing of making my own clothes. So I've been doing that already with crochet and knitting, but I would very much like to do that with sewing as well. I've made my own costume, which is a very different ball game. There's still various stuff that I'm not familiar with, like making corsets, for instance. Balls. Damn it. It's also a way for me to get so it'd be like the office would be part office, part workshop. But there's also the issue of storage. And I'm like, well, how much stuff am I really going to want to keep hold of? There's useful things that I bought for myself, like washer, dryer and dishwasher. And if I am ever put back into a flat or whatever, then yeah, I'd need those. But there's so much other shit that I've accumulated that I just want to break away from. I mean, the thing with ADHD is because you're low on dopamine, but your baseline levels of dopamine are lower than they should be. So your brain is constantly in chasing mode. I mean, this is why the most common and most usually most successful form of ADHD treatment is amphetamine type stimulants. But the way it's manifested for me and my dad, who probably also has ADHD, like the worst way this manifests for us is impulsive spending, and he's often got himself into debt through it, and so have I now. I mean, this is the second time this has happened where I I had a comfortable job where I was earning a nice amount of money. I'd buy things and I was like, yeah, I can manage to pay it back, no problem. And then I have no job and therefore no way to pay my debt now. And people wonder how ADHD can negatively impact your life. Damn you. I mean, that's just one way ADHD can wreck your life. So, because of that, and it's happened every time I've moved to a different house, and I've managed to pare back enough stuff to take with me without costing a fortune. And then I get settled, I have a nice job or whatever, and I start to accumulate stuff again. And it's just it's like a cycle. Damn it. Oh crap. I have to say though, since I got prescribed venlafaxine as an antidepressant, which is, it works differently from the usual like fluoxetine or whatever that are SSRIs. Venlafaxine is an SNRI, so it's serotonin and I think like the easier to pronounce name for it is noradrenaline. But dopamine is the reward hormone. Noradrenaline is the get up and go hormone. which I'm also lacking in. But when I'm completely unmedicated, coffee makes me sleepy. But even just taking venlafaxine, coffee is actually helping now. So it might be I don't need ADHD type meds. I don't know. Hey! Ah! Hello, jump button. I mean, I hope I no longer need proper ADHD meds, because shortage is such a ball ache thing. I mean, I hate having to rely on meds anyway. Damn it. But yeah, so I'm left in a position where even if it's a hotel room, it means I have to really, really pay down my stuff. And I have to really think about how much I really need to keep hold of. Because I've had a hoarder mentality for a long time. And I just want a complete change of mindset now. Damn it. I've always been like a nomadic type of mind, where I'd keep hold of the boxes that things came in. I'd keep hold of the moving boxes, just in case I have to move out again in the next year or so. But I've been here for about like nearly 5 years now. But thanks to not being able to afford rent and getting into arrears and fun stuff like that, I now have to leave my house at the end of March next year. And I am on the social housing register, but waiting list is like bollocks, like 5 or so years, which is ridiculous. Thank manufacturer for that one. The whole right to buy thing. People buying their council houses, but there's been nothing to replace them. I've been lucky that the landlord hasn't raised the rent the whole time I've been here, but the letting agent admitted that they've been losing money because of that. So when this house is rented out again, the rent is probably going to be doubled. This is a good house. It's like 3-bedroom with a small garage at the back. I've already accepted that I'm probably going to have to lose my deposit for it to get deep cleaned and everything. I tried to get a quote for deep cleaning service myself and got quoted over 500 quid, which is about the amount of deposit I put down, I think it was. I mean, I've already accepted that much because I know that, I mean, lacking with the lack of energy I've had and everything, I just haven't had the energy. Pretty much like Shane, actually, where he was explaining the he was explaining the state of his room, saying he hadn't cleaned for months. It's just like, he knows he should, but he just can't bring himself to do it. And I know most people probably judge him for that. Me, I'm just like, yeah, I've had the exact problem. Had the exact same problems. That's what depression does to you. And that's what burnout and lack of get up and go hormone does to you. It's a thing known as executive dysfunction, which is commonly misinterpreted as a synonym for procrastination, but they're not the same. When you procrastinate, you're consciously putting something off. Executive dysfunction is when you want to do something, you know you have to do something, and it's like try to will yourself to get up and get the thing done, and your brain's just like, nope, not doing it. It's like arguing with a stubborn toddler. It's not a battle you're going to win, no matter how hard you try. Damn it. I mean, I've tried all sorts in this place. Once I gave myself permission to be like, okay, you have different limits to other people. And this is part of the issue. Damn it. This is part of the issue I've had, is accepting that I have different limits. I am actually disabled. So there's like, I've had family joking that you don't need a dishwasher, you just got a pair of hands. Damn it. But I've had to come to a place where I'm like, okay, I do actually need a dishwasher. And it still sometimes takes me several days or even over a week before I can bring myself to load and turn it on. Well, at least then there's a whole lot done in one go. And it's a similar thing with the washer dryer that I've got. The alternative I had before was washing machine, then take upstairs to clothes area and hang them out. Whereas with the washer dryer, you just switch it on and wait for it all to complete. And again, I still have issues getting myself started to load it. Cool. Okay, so it's... Oof. Hey. Damn it. Hey! Oh, shit! Oh, crap. This sort of thing is why I consider doing a stream for mine for charity, which I still might once I figure out a way to do it. It probably will be with Stardew Valley again, because the game in itself, as we've seen, raises so many issues to do with mental health. I would like to do that at some point. I do have a Twitch account, which I'm not currently using. I mean, I've never live streamed before in my life. So I don't know how that's going to go. I would like to, because it's another way of interacting with people, I guess. Excuse me. I hate this flipping level. Damn it. This is... Ah! I was hoping to help on a bubble there. There's a game that I've oh crap. There's a game that I've been considering playing again. Damn it. Called Aversion. Don't know if you've heard of it. But it got me thinking about a kind of platform game that I could do using that kind of logic. But using a thing like making it a mental health awareness type of thing. Because the version is like Gianna's Sister's Twisted Dreams, if you're familiar with that one. Which is fun, but bloody hard. The version's pretty hard as well. But it's also... It's using a similar premise to this. Where, well, it's... Where it's 2D, but it's more 8-bit style, especially with graphics. But it's very cleverly done. In that, despite it being, initially at least, very cutesy, like Mario and Acid type graphics, it becomes very Lovecraftian horror, like very creepy, unnerving, even jump scary. It's just very it gets very unsettling, that kind of thing, where you're switching between different views of the same world, and they get darker and darker the further you go. I like unusual things like that. And it got me thinking about using that as a, like, in terms of mental health, it could be like, because the world, damn it, the world view, well, especially for PTSD, but maybe other things like autism, especially, where the way you handle the world changes depending on the mental state. I mean, when you're feeling okay, it's more like, damn it, it's more like Inversion Layer 1, where it's, well, not cutesy so much, but manageable, you know. You're happy, you're content in your life. Damn it, everything's groovy. But in like you're experiencing like a meltdown or a trauma response or something like that, things can get distorted pretty badly. where things like become far too noisy, and like if it's bright lights that bother you, or like with me, I have to wear earplugs because otherwise things get too loud. And my brain has a hard time filtering out actual conversation from background noise. And with the version, it does that with the graphics it does that with the graphics and the audio. Where, as the world gets more corrupted, so does the music. Oopsie, yeah. That would be a thing that I would like to explore at some point. I would also like to remake one of my favourites. Damn it. Would like to remake one of my favourites on Acorn Electrons, like Magic Mushrooms. In all its arcade quality, difficulty, glory. Like, there are monsters, but you can't fight them. You can't even jump on them like Mario can. You just have to avoid them. Oopsie. So yeah, the ideas are there. Let's just get back to that point of finding out a way to, or even wanting to execute them. I do have licenses for like hobbyist game making programs I haven't used for ages. But I don't know so much if that's a thing I want to use anymore, because they're very limiting. Oh, balls. I've got Dream Spell serials for all sorts of programs. It's a thing we had with the when we were at uni. Like unis had a scheme with Microsoft called DreamSpark. I think they've changed it now. Changed the name at least. But it meant we could download all sorts of software, including Microsoft Office, even Windows, and Visual Studio for free. The only requirement is that you're a student at a recognised university. So I've got all these serials that I can use, including for a version of Visual Studio that works with Microsoft XNA, which is what Concerned Ape used to make this. Damn it! Damn it! So I'd be very interested to see how he did it and having a go at doing it myself. And getting into Stardew modding has been a good gateway to that. Oops. Oops. I mean, it's been good like having a look in some of the mods, and some of these mods, they have the source available on GitHub, so you could just go in and have a look at the code they use. So it's been quite an experience just looking into the code. It's like, oh yeah, that looks familiar. And my brain is weird in that. Damn it. My brain is weird in that there are certain things that I could pick up pretty quickly after just like a few tries or something, like it happened with crochet. And there are other things where I get the general idea after the first go, but it takes a few more tries, it takes a few more lessons that are basically repeating themselves before it clicks. And that happened with me with general programming methods, for instance. But it's a case of needing to go back and reteach myself things like C# and probably other things like SCSS. And JavaScript, actually, like plain JavaScript, not jQuery. Ah, bugger. Yeah, plain JavaScript is a lot harder to get to grips with than jQuery. But what else I would need to refresh my memory on is TypeScript, which Uni did cover. And both of those are used in Vue framework. So it's a case of having to go right back to the roots and just reteach myself a lot of stuff. And I've gone through quite a few iterations now of trying to redo a particular web app I've been working on. It's basically a tracker for Sims games. I've got one version online that works for Sims 2 using Bootstrap, jQuery and PHP. But I'm still exploring it. But database wise is one thing, because I'm pretty competent with the database side of it. Hence getting a job in database admin when a vacancy popped up, when an internal vacancy pops up rather. Which kind of sucks really. I mean, there are web dev jobs aplenty, whether internal or external, and I've seen loads of job vacancies on Indeed, for instance, but they all include some form of thing like some framework like Vue or other sort of thing that I either wasn't taught in uni or was, but I'm very rusty. So I've just been left with a severe case of imposter syndrome, at least in the commercial web dev area. I guess it's partly why I'm not really interested in getting another job in. Right, one sec. Oy. Oh shit. I hate that level so much. I hope there is a way of getting to 50,000 without having to go all the way through Ghastly Galleon. Ah, you get. Oh. Loophole. Hey. Oh. Oh well. Better late than never. I never learn, do I? Maybe I could do a YouTube or Twitch stream of immersion. It's not so drawn out as Stardew. It's literally a platform game. Like, there's no dialogue or anything. You just go through search for gems. It's relatively short. Yet. I haven't played that game for ages. There's a lot of games I haven't played for ages. I've just been stuck on this for a while. I did have another crack at Crisis Core though. I do miss that guy. The ending is absolute emotional torture though. My god. Oh, balls. On a related note though, when the hell is Rebirth coming out for Steam? I'm not buying a PS5 just for that. Especially when I already have a mile-long list of games on my Steam library, mostly that I bought when I was subbed to a Humble Bundle. That I just haven't installed, let alone played. And I have a Steam Deck as well. And the main, I mean, it was a thing I wanted, but as I started considering car living, it got to a, well, damn you. Like the main reason I wanted the Steam Deck in the end was because I was the main reason I wanted the Steam Deck in the end was because the main reason I was considering getting a Steam Deck in the end was because of thinking about living in a car, and I wanted a more portable way to play my games. So I have a Switch, which up until I got the Steam Deck was my most played console. But they are both of them now are just like the only two consoles I need, because with the Switch you've got Nintendo Online, which lets you play older games, and they're constantly adding to the library. Steam Deck, you have mods and other games that aren't on Nintendo at all. Can I get to it? Damn it! Still, oh god damn it. Still with the Switch, you've got games like Metroid Dread, which I was also going through a hyperfixation at one point. And if once I can figure out how to record on the Switch, then I might start doing some streaming or pre-recorded videos of gameplay on there as well, because there are a few favourites I have on the Switch. I haven't got Wonder yet. That looks interesting. I have got Super Mario 3D World, which is awesome. I flipping love that game, especially with Bowser's Fury. I've been playing that more than the main game, in fact. I've also got Mario 3D Stars. 3D All Stars, I think it's called. Yay! No, you do not. Oh crap. Damn it! Oof. Ah, you bugger. There's lots of games that I love playing that I haven't played in a while. So it could be interesting to start playing through those video. Especially because I haven't played them in a while, so the reactions are probably going to be genuine. The handy thing with ADHD is, when it comes to this at least, is because we're so forgetful, there are a lot of games where every time I go back to it, it's pretty much like starting it for the first time. Except for some things that stick in memory, like how to do so and so. But a lot of the time, like especially in Metroid games, it's like, now where was so and so again? How do you fight this boss again? Oh yeah. I do have Metroid Prime, the Switch. Oh, phew. I do have Metroid Prime for the Switch, which again I haven't played for ages. I didn't used to be into first-person games. Nice one. Ah, damn it! I wonder if the second or third have come out for that yet. Like, I didn't used to be into first person. I used to absolutely hate them. But I just couldn't get into them at all. But I don't know, I suppose because my ex got me into Subnautica. Oops, oh damn it. Which again is first person, but it's more of a survival thing, and you don't have to worry about shooting monsters or anything. Just the whole thing is avoiding monsters. So I guess it was easier for me to get into, especially because there's a freedom mode where you don't have to worry about hunger and thirst, which is better for your first time. Damn it. But it was a gentle enough learning curve where I could start to get into them. And it still depends on the game. I'm still not really into ultimate shooters like Doom, for instance. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Oh crap. Multiplayer games I'm especially reserved on. Especially with so many people being in the States. Like, so there's a big time zone difference, for instance, and there's just no one for me to play with, at least for now. I mean, I would like to experience multiplayer on this game with some people at some point. Any takers, let me know. Although, as you've seen, I've played with a lot of mods, some of which may or may not affect multiplayer. I think Polyamory Suite does work with multiplayer with some caveats. I don't know how something like Immersive Sim is going to work, although because I have Vortex, I can just make another profile for it. Whee! Hey! Ah, damn you! Damn it. Oh well. Oh god, I hate this one! Ah! Case in point. Jesus. Right, I have to remember. You go faster on that level. Therefore, what look like unjumpable gaps probably are jumpable. I'll have to, like, get into a different mindset with that one. Damn it. Oh, I think there's some sort of physics engine with this as well. And that's the other thing, with the older games, talking very early Mario for instance, because there isn't a physics engine. Whereas with later Marios there are. So that would be interesting to explore. Whee! Ah! Ooh. Ah, shit. I hate it when it does that. The other thing, of course, is artwork. I mean, I did used to do when way back in RPG Maker 2000, when you had these pixel sprites similar to this, where I'd use iDraw to edit the sprites. But beyond that, I mean, I haven't drawn for ages, and it's not, I mean, sketching images is like existing images is one thing. Designing from scratch is something else entirely. Hey! Ah, it worked. Awesome. I mean, there's a program I have called Spriter. Damn it. But what I would, what I would really like to do is like use Poser something. Ah, flip. I would like to use something like Poser to create the characters themselves, and then I can just pose them however. I would like to do that with these characters actually. But looking into it, it looks very complicated and very pricey. Oh, crap. It's all, you're buying assets. I mean, it probably isn't pricey if you can do it all yourself from scratch, but I'm nowhere near at that level. But I did... there was a game design course that I did in Leeds, where we used 3ds Max. I really struggled with that. But I mean, I wasted a lot of time, effort and money trying to figure out where my strengths lie, what I enjoy doing and what I can get on with and what I just can't do. Whee! Damn it! Damn it. Wasn't too fussed about that one. What I really need to do is make a point of getting as much fruit as possible, especially in the earlier levels. Preferably coins as well, but it's not always possible. Ah, crap. Oh, crud. Whee! Whew. Please let me get all the fruit on this one. Oh, curses. Whee! Oh, you bastard! Oof. Oh, got my thumb. Oh shit.